Hi, it's Sheridan Webb here from the Training Designers Club, which is the place to go for practical L&D support, especially if you work on your own. And today I want to talk to you about locks. Not this type of lock, this type of lock. It's spring here in the UK, which means we're getting out on more and more rambles and hikes. It's something me and my husband do love to do. And many of these rambles and hikes have taken us alongside canals recently. And as we walk along these canals, obviously we see a lot of locks. Locks enable boats to go up and down hills easily, otherwise they would be really, really restricted. And you know, they were invented in something like the 10th century, started to be used in about the 14th century in this country and were relatively commonplace by the 17th. So they've been around a heck of a long time. And the thing that always amazes me is how things that have been in place for centuries still work. And I think that's absolutely amazing. It's a real testament to the original design. And the reason that I want to talk to you about this in relation to training design is that I get a lot of people coming to me and going, Sheridan, I need some fresh exercises. I need to include something new. I've been running this type of course for 20 years and I've always used this exercise and I just think I ought to do something different. To which my question is always, why? Does this exercise work? Does it bring out the learning points that you want it to bring out? And if the answer is yes, why on earth are you wanting to change it just because you've been using it for such a long time? Now, there is a danger, of course, when an exercise has been around for a long time, that some of the participants may have done it before. So it is important to have an alternative up your sleeve. And I'm not for one moment suggesting that we should never review our training courses and our training practice. We shouldn't get complacent and lazy and just keep rolling out the same thing year on year. So it is good to look at these things and update them when necessary. But we shouldn't be updating them just for updating them's sake. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if you've got an exercise that works brilliantly, don't feel that you have to change it just because you've been using it for a long time. There's a reason that it stood the test of time, and that's because it works. Instead, focus your attention on those bits of your training that may be getting dated without you realizing it. A typical thing for me is the examples that I use. So I will look back on something that I wrote maybe 10 years ago, and in principle, it's still absolutely spot on, but maybe the sort of cultural references that I've made are showing their age. So that's the sort of thing that perhaps needs to be changed. So don't beat yourself up if you're using something that you've been using for a long, long time, if it's still giving you, and more importantly, your participants, what they need to get from that particular exercise. For more advice, tips, thoughts on training design, do check out the rest of the YouTube channel. Listen to the Training Design podcast. Visit the website, which is www.trainingdesignersclub.co.uk. And why not become a VIP member of our community to have a virtual team in your pocket whenever you need it.